I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. All right, I want to ask you a question. Jay-Z lives in an $88 million luxury home. I think it's in California, in Bel Air, which is in California, which is ritzier, probably the ritziest neighborhood than some of the other neighborhoods out in California. Has, let's see, it's 33,000 square feet, 8 bedrooms, 4 swimming pools. Imagine that. And I'm going to ask the engineer if he would bring up a picture of that home. What I want to ask you is, how much money did you give Jay-Z and Beyoncé to buy that home? And you know, I'm not saying that you should not have done it, but you know, he wouldn't have been able to buy it without you either going to his concerts or buying his products, both Jay-Z and Beyoncé. But what I want to go a little bit further, if you don't mind, and I promise not to inflict myself upon you any further. How many young boys living in the ghettos, living in many times public housing or dilapidated houses, have contributed at least $1,000 to Jay-Z to buy an $88 million house? How many people living on the south side of Chicago, living in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, Harlem, New York City, in ghettos all over America? Many of them living in dilapidated houses, as I stated before, and some of them living in public houses built by the state or the city and living from hand to mouth, but as a young person before 17 years old, have contributed more than $1,000 to Jay-Z to buy that $88 million house. How many have done that? How many women, how many mothers have done that, who are paying rent or are behind in their rent right now, but have contributed over a period of Jay-Z's time more than $1,000 to Jay-Z? How many of y'all have done that? And this is what he's done with your money, along with a private jet and houses every place else. But how many of y'all contributed, that kind of money for them to live like that? It's your money. It's your money. You can do with it what you want. It would just seem to me that anybody living in the projects or in a poor neighborhood and giving money to Jay-Z, and he's bought an $88 million, imagine how many people who could be helped with that 80. If he bought 88 homes, $1 million each, and gave them away to needy families who are living in, there's people down in the South that don't have running water, don't have toilets, don't have, sewage removal. Imagine if you just take $80 million, he still have $8 million. He's a billionaire, right? He's worth $1.6 billion. If he took $80 million and built 80 homes, let's say he built for $1 million each for a deserving family. Let's say he built some in Los Angeles, built some in Houston, built some in Harlem and Fort Greene, built Southeast Washington. 80 homes, he would buy $1 million each to a wealthy family. What do you think about an idea like that? You think he'd do something like that? You think that he would consider that? Think something like that would ever cross his mind? I want to leave you with this. It's your money. Use it when you want it. Do what your money, however how you got it, But many of y'all got money. How many dollars you've given to Jay-Z to buy that $88 million house, that's your business. But it just seems to me that something about that ain't right. It seems to me something, and I'm not, begrudging a man to have a house, but $88 million and four swimming pools is ridiculous. Jesus said this, and I'm going to let you go. I promise you I'm going to let you go after this. Jesus said this, that it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for Jay-Z and Beyoncé to enter into the kingdom of God. They ain't going to make it. So I would say, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, live it up now. Y'all better live it up now. Because Jesus said, y'all ain't going in. Now, I'm not saying you're not going in. I'm saying Jesus said, y'all ain't going in. There'll be a camel that will go through Betsy Ross' sewing needle before the two of y'all get to heaven. So live it up now. Make the house bigger. Make it taller. Get more swimming pools. Live it up now, homie, because y'all ain't going in. Jesus said, y'all ain't going in. Now, y'all going to have a whole lot of friends that ain't going to go either. You know why? Because you have robbed. There are too many people that are suffering. There are too many children in Africa with pot bellies. There are too many children in Africa who don't have a schoolhouse to go to. There are too many women that are sick there in Africa too many men that are walking barefoot in Ethiopia, and you are living in a 33,000 square foot house with 4 bathrooms. There are too many people being neglected. You have robbed, even though people have given you their money, you have used a spiritual, if you will, rap to rob them. You didn't use a gun to rob them, but you used your spiritual rap to rob them. And you're not going in, Jay-Z. You ain't going to make it. I can stand on that word all day long. It would be easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter to the kingdom of God. Y'all ain't going in. So live it up. And by the way, tell all your friends that got that kind of, tell that boy LeBron James, tell him too, he ain't going in either. So that's a hazard, because nobody gets that rich without serving the devil. Nobody gets that rich without robbing and stealing. Nobody gets that rich who's a moral, ethical person. Nobody gets that rich. Y'all ain't going in. Y'all ain't no at the gate out knocking ass. I tell you what you can do. You can do what Zacchaeus did in the Bible. Is another one. He gave away everything he had. So y'all can start giving away stuff as well. There are a whole lot of people in Africa. There are a whole lot of people right here in America that I made mention earlier. Y'all can give $1 million home to 80 families. They give more than you can give that whole $1.6 billion you got. You can get that whole thing away and change the course of America. But you're not going to do that. Because, the people that give you money go to your concert, they're crazy as hell, too. They stupid. They ain't got heat in the wintertime, ain't got a pot to piss in, and yet they're going to go and pay $100 for your concert. And just to hear you sing or rap. Or watch Beyoncé gap her legs open and show everybody where the Lord split her. Yes, sir. No, y'all ain't going in.